viewpoints and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
It was John Vienna.
Now we're live, Brandon. See, this is the part where we go live.
Yeah, I got to shut up now.
Okay, yeah. By the way, Kentucky Long Rifle. Kentucky's back in the archives. Kentucky Long Rifle. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. Tonight is April 5th, 2024, and this is our April Council episode with Brandon and Adrian. Now, we do have two celebrity announcements, tonight. Now, just to give everybody a heads up, Joe Lewis is without internet because, like, the storms went through, and his internet is still laying in his backyard, the cable. So, we were doing a rerun of his Thanksgiving review.
It's also a condition of his parole.
Yes, he's supposed to be accountable. He's supposed to be kept up with. Anyway, so before we even get started, is anyone making plans to watch the Apocalypse Monday?
Are you talking?
I think it's pronounced a different way.
Yeah.
Not if you're on Facebook. It's not, and especially TikTok. There's some good ones going around TikTok.
I would like to point out that when I loaded up the video on my phone, so I can keep up with the comments, the very first thing I saw was the automated subtitles, and it said John Vienna. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, inside joke. Baroom cheese.
The first thing I saw. But no, I guess I'm kind of... I have my 2017 eclipse glasses somewhere, but I guess I need to run down to the store and pick up some new ones. I feel like we're going to get like a 99.7% coverage here, so...
What, you need glasses?
Well, yeah, if you don't want to go blind, it's still the sun, dude.
I just stare at it.
Anyone that is watching, don't listen to Brandon. We don't want your eyeballs to melt out of your skull before Scarefest. Do not, under any circumstances, try to look at the sun unless you have your special eclipse glasses on. It's not a hoax. Have your special eclipse glasses on, and don't look at the sun, kids.
You can also wear eclipse glasses like they wore in the thing. They work. They have the slits so you don't get your retinas burned by the snow.
I have welding goggles. They're semi-safe. But tell you that it is allegedly going to like snow and rain all day Monday. Or it's supposed to rain. I think snow's over tonight. But anyway, it's supposed to be cloudy and everything. It'll probably be dark before it even gets here.
Fair.
I give up. I was wearing shorts last week, so I just don't even care anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I have no idea.
I wear sweatpants so I can roll them up.
That works.
All right. What are we talking about tonight? Everybody, by the way, in the chat room, I have the big chat room open. If you ask a question in any of our various social media feeds, excluding Instagram because I have to do magic to see it, I can see your question. So we can get those as we go.
And I encourage questions. Actually, are you guys wearing the same shirt?
Yes, we're Twinkies.
They're bosom buddies.
Yeah.
I have that shirt, but it's only in like a medium, so it looks like a belly shirt.
Hey, I hear there is a market for ladies who like men wearing schmedium shirts.
Schmedium?
Schmedium.
Yeah, nobody wants to see me in a schmedium. But at least Zoom, we can cut it off from the waist up.
That's true.
That's true.
That's what I think on every time. Good angles.
Yeah, get
horrible lighting.
Have the camera eye level or slightly above. Cut off anything you don't want seen. Yes. I haven't worn pants for like 12 months doing this show, so
Right?
So, okay, well, that leads into one thing we can talk about. We are,
I'd rather
yeah, not John Vienna stuff, but like, so one thing that we're working on, I was talking to Joel, who does our shirt designs every year. We're going to bring back out the old shirt designs because I'm missing a few. And I own and I own the damn thing. And so, like,
I really we're talking about shirts. I could. You want me to go get some of mine?
Yeah, grab a couple. So we've had some awesome shirt designs over the years, and like the last few, Joel's done amazing work, and Terrence has done some amazing work. That I Heart Kentucky shirt is probably one of my favorites. But there are so many over the years, and we've had so many people that are new to the show that never got a chance to get them, and I'm still missing out on some. And so it makes sense to kind of bring some of those back. And there are some, spectacular shirt designs.
Okay, this is my favorite. Oh, the lighting is terrible.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, this one's my favorite.
Yeah, I really like that one too. That was one of my favorites, and I never got one.
This is like one of our goriest ones. And then let's see, we've got classic.
Oh,
I like that one.
That's from 10. That's the year that we had Robert England the first time. Oh, now I actually do have that one.
Gypsy Girl. These are not all of my shirts. These are just the ones that were hanging up. Some of them are like retired. Like years 1 through 4, I think, are put up in a tote.
Oh yeah, the Camp Scarefest one. I've got one that it was like a hoodie shirt.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
No, we have none of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was when we got the old stock. That was one. They were almost non-existent.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite.
Yeah, no,
shirt.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I really like this one a lot. I wish it had more than one color, but this is what, 5?
God, yeah, that was like early 2010.
That's 2012. I guess
way before my time.
I have 2 of these.
What year was that?
This one doesn't have a date on it. Does anybody remember? If you do, put it in the comments. I can't remember.
I don't remember, but I've got several of them because when we got the old shirts, we were disposing of the old shirts. I think the cat slept in top of the box. I had to adopt a couple.
Oh, that one's definitely old school.
That's like 2 or 3, isn't it?
Let me check my posters. Hold on. This isn't actually on the poster for either of the first 2 years, so it might be 3 because the 3rd year was just all of our guests on the poster with Lexington in the background. It wasn't our t-shirt design that year, so that might be 3. But the first year is the really gross, like melty zombie on one side and ghost on the other. It's got a flashlight behind him and a machete on the other side.
Oh, that one was badass. I've got the
I'm not sure I've
poster for
ever
that.
even seen that one.
Yeah.
See, the only year, so Scarefest 10. Oh yeah. I've got. Oh yeah.
And then this one. And then this is 3. That's got all the faces on
How
it.
long has he been doing that?
So.
Now, the Asking Chat Room, Joel designed all these, right?
No.
No.
No, the first year, hold on. Our t-shirt and poster, it's on here. Can't remember his name. I'll have to get back to you on that, but he had the same oh wait, hold on. 2009, Joel was there, but he didn't do our shirt, I don't think. Someone else did. He shares a last name with somebody else that was involved in the show. I cannot remember.
Vienna.
No, I don't think that's it. I'll have to let you all know. It's on something.
The only year that I got all the shirts in my size was the year that I forgot to pack a suitcase and was grabbing shirts off the rack. So people didn't know that I forgot to pack clothes.
And then somebody else wants to know, like, if we're going to put out tank tops this year. If you would come and run us down when we're doing one of our merchandise setups at one of the other cons, we've got tank tops.
Yes.
From some from last year, I
Yes.
think, and 2 years ago.
Yes.
So there are tank tops in existence. So if you want a tank top, you don't have to wait till October when it's no longer tank top weather.
Yeah.
We'll be at FrankieCon.
I didn't even bring out my tank. I have just as many tank tops as I do shirts.
Oh, me too.
I know.
So
We need to
that's
tube tops.
No, I draw the line there. No, we might as well do Scarefest banana hammocks at that point.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, I'm down. Scarefest tramp stamps.
Okay, so that's one thing. I guess one of the next biggest things we have to talk about is the floor is changing.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about that in a way that doesn't give anyone in the audience, Chris Harris, an anxiety attack. So the changes that we're going to have are going to be very well outlined. We're going to talk about them a lot leading up to the show. It is nothing to panic about. We will have a very detailed map, some interactive maps for you. But the biggest change, and we've mentioned this actually already before, the photo ops are not going to be on the floor this year. They're not going to be in the same room with the celebrities and the vendors. And that is because we are expanding the photo ops. We have to, because we do so many photo ops. Everybody knows last year, if you got a photo op, the crew that we had there from Celeb Photo Ops, our staff that was helping run those, they were running their butts off. And they did a great job, but it was still really difficult to keep that on schedule. It is just not possible with the number of guests that we have to do the photo ops that we've been doing. We wouldn't be able to, one, keep up, and two, we would have to start cutting some photo ops and not being able to offer them, and we don't want to do that. So
really, if you think about it, it's your guys' fault for buying so many damn photo ops.
Exactly. It's your fault for being so
I
cool.
just want everyone to look on the bright side of this from my standpoint, in that if you get photo ops, you'll have to go to the second floor where there is plenty of seating. There are plenty of places to sit on the second floor. Our entertainment area. We're still planning on moving that down there, right? Mm-hmm. That will have chairs. Then people cannot bitch at me because there was no place to sit.
They did run out of blood. So I'm watching the comments, but only on the one Facebook video. And Rob did our special effects classes last year. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we will be able to offer a classroom again this year. And hopefully we can bring Rob back up. But before the Scout and Danielle photo ops, the bloody photo ops they did, we realized that we didn't have any fake blood. So I was like, hey, I got the perfect person for you. And I called Rob and I was like, hey, do you have any fake blood on you that can go on skin? Please save us. And he did. So thank you, Rob, for helping us avert that crisis.
Yes, thank you, Rob. And I'm still pissed off I missed that photo op.
I like locally sourced ethical blood.
That's exactly right. Only nothing but the best for our Scarefest babies. So, yes, the biggest change, and I mean biggest as far as square footage goes, will be that the photo ops will be moving downstairs to the second floor. They're going to be right off the escalator down the right hallway. Last year, everything we had was down the left hallway. And we'll have plenty of signage up to let you all know where the photo ops are. And it should move more smoothly now that we'll have more space. That also means it opens up more space upstairs, so we can kind of spread things out a little bit back there, add some more celebrity booths maybe this year, and have more space for line building. So all in all, it can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's 100,000 square foot on just the first floor. Mm-hmm. Which technically is the third floor, but we call it the first because let's just not confuse.
Brandon calls it the first floor.
I'm the only one that calls it the first floor because I get it. If I walk in there, that's how I think about it. And then the second floor, we're expanding into that area, and it's going to be I'm really excited about photo ops being down in that area because one thing to think about is you have a lot of area over there to sit, which Wes loves.
I was over it.
Build lines without it getting overwhelming on the floor.
Yeah.
Because we really want, and again, anyone that's talked to me knows my mindset on it. If I'm at a show, my biggest pet peeve is being able to see where I want to go, but not being able to get there.
Yes.
And that's our commitment. If we're going to have this much square foot, we're going to have this many celebrities, and we're going to have this much attendance, we have to keep the floor manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're walking down doing this whole shuffle thing, where you're just kind of bobbing back and forth trying to get down a row, then we're not doing our job. So we have to accommodate that.
Now, there are going to be some areas that is just absolutely unavoidable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the nature of the beast, but we don't want the whole floor to be like that. I mean, I'm not saying like we want to keep it wide enough where people can do like backflips all the way down the aisle, though it may be cool. But we do want to make sure that we have enough space for people to be able to stop and shop or stop and queue a small line, and then still be able to walk around.
Yeah. When you got 30,000 people walking through a room, you've got to keep it open and you got to keep it comfortable. Otherwise, old farts like me don't have as much fun, and we don't want that.
Yeah. So, and we have heard the cries of the masses. We are working on places to put chairs. I need everyone collectively to tell Brandon not to go crazy with giving away space at the show, right? He needs to keep a lid on it so we have room to put our chairs, because the chairs are the last of the list. If they get, they're the first things to go. So we gotta have places to sit down and have a.
I'm doing my best. Doing my best. We've capped the vendors this year. We're going, like, we know what the amount that's going to be. And those are folks doing retail and sales, but we also have vendors that we have to play. Well, I call them vendors, but people that are promoting stuff.
Yeah.
So filmmakers, shows, things like that. So we're gonna and the tattoo folks, which we're gonna expand on that a little bit. So yeah. Adrian, I will promise not to mess it up.
You all heard that, right? Everyone heard that.
It's recorded. I mean,
You recorded.
Yeah, I'm
that.
sorry.
Okay.
It's time for commercial break.
I was saying it's time for commercial.
The Bombs is a 2024 Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendor. The Bombs makes bath and body products for everyone. Ashley Dobbs makes unique small batch hand-painted bath bombs, plus sugar scrubs, whip soaps, and body oils. Find the Bombs on Facebook and at the monthly Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendors make the event happen. Be sure to tell them that you heard it here on Scarefest TV.
Central Kentucky, are you ready to get wicked? We've been serving up scares for over 15 years in the heart of the bluegrass. Come hang out with our wicked world sliders. Dance the fright away with DJ Krankenstein. And test your luck in one of the all-new escape rooms. Or dare to step into any of our 3 attractions.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Now, quickly, some things from the chat room. First of all, the moving the photo ops to the second floor. When you go down that escalator, there's a whole nother section off to the right that we have yet to explore.
So yeah, gosh, I can't remember how far it is. So when you go off the escalator and you're going down, to the left, you have where we had the film festival and like all that stuff. And then you've got to the right that leads into Rupp Arena. Mm-hmm. And so to the right is where the photo ops will be. And so there's a hallway. There's a hallway that horseshoes around where the photo ops will be. And then there's a hallway that goes straight down.
Yeah.
And it's about 50 yards.
Quite a way.
Yeah, so we've got plenty of line. Like, you're not going to get overwhelmed on the left, and you're not going to get overwhelmed on the right. There's plenty of space for the whole thing. So if you're worried about like that overlap, there shouldn't be any.
Yeah, if you all remember last year when I was talking about, like, you know, I think we all kind of do it, especially, well, the people that get like overstimulated at shows. If the venue isn't connected to like the hotel that I'm staying in, I always try to find like the area less traveled to, you know, kind of catch a breather. And last year, that hallway that Brandon's talking about that leads towards the Rupp Arena, Vine Street, Triangle Park area, it's a long hallway, and there are outlets all the way down that hallway. And I was telling people, like, hey, if you want to stop, chill, plug your phone in, those outlets are on. So if you needed to, you know, charge your phone and just have a few minutes of downtime, that hallway is a good place to do it. And if we will not know until much closer to the show if we can get the same space for our food court. But if we can, then that will be there. If not, there is another space all the way at the end of that long hallway that we could utilize. And also food trucks. So that's something to keep in mind. And you can see all of that when you hit that second floor landing right off the escalator and you're looking in front of you, you can see the bottom floor, the first floor, the actual first floor. And that's the area where the food trucks would be, is outside on the sidewalk. So if we get a little bit more information about that, we can go into more depth, you know, a little bit closer to the show. But there is a lot of space down there.
Yeah, a lot of people like the food court option that we had last year. The thing you have to keep in mind is that it changes from year to year.
Yeah.
So I know to a lot of people it would make more sense if we had it there last year, it'll be there this year. But we have to adjust this every year based on what's going on in Rupp Arena, who has the first floor. So it's not as cut and dry as you would think it would be. So,
well, and I'll give you all an example of this, of how much this stuff is out of our control. There was at Comic-Con, and some people in here have been to Lexington Comic-Con, some of you haven't, but I will say Comic-Con, they rent out all 3 floors, big show, right? There was a concert the same weekend as Comic-Con this year, and when the security detail for the artist showed up at the venue, they said, you cannot use Rupp Arena pre-function space. No one's allowed in there at all. So they had to completely reroute everything they were doing with the show of how people could enter the venue. Even though there was nothing happening in the Rupp Arena pre-function, and it's totally out of their control. They've got a contract. They have to do what they have to do. We are totally at their mercy. So, of course, we always want to do what's going to be the easiest access for you all. It makes our lives easier. But we really don't have any power other than saying pretty please in our nicest voices.
Yeah, and we spend, like, and just to reiterate, I mean, we spend an inordinate amount of time trying to work out the path of least resistance for everyone, because we want everyone. I mean, I went to a show about a month ago, and I had a great time, but the line management was so crazy that it just. I mean, I was standing outside for 2.5 hours for a celebrity line.
And what, 38
it was
degrees?
It was 35 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
And we had an overhead that was fine. But like there's a lot that goes into comfort when we plan how this is going and where we're going to put stuff and how things are going to flow. And it's not just about how much stuff we can pack into a space.
No.
It's how we can pack it into a space and make it comfortable for people. Because if you're not comfortable then you're not having a good time.
Exactly.
And the food court is the same thing. Like the food court, it may move, but we will work painstakingly to make it work.
Yeah.
And for it to be the path of least resistance. The other thing too is with the second floor is think about, you know, the VIP party is not going to be on site this year. And we've talked about that before. And we feel very confident that, you know, pending final contracts, moving that back over to the Manchester area, which is only a hop, skip, and a jump. But a lot of people, everyone that I spoke to, when I asked them like where they preferred to have it, the years that we had it over on Manchester were the best.
Yeah.
Because Lex Live, and I love Lex Live, it's hard to accommodate a group our size there.
Yeah.
The Manchester seems to do it best, and I think we're gonna work that out. And we've got Danny McFadden, who's going to be DJing over there this year.
Yeah.
I love Danny. And so we've got a lot of things worked out with that, which is going to free up some space on the second floor.
Oh, good
obviously.
question. Someone asked, does that mean the cosplay contest won't be on site? It will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be on site and one contest.
Yeah, so before, almost every year we've done the costume contest, we have done a pre-judging at a certain amount of time, and then our finalists go to the VIP party and we do the final judging there. And a lot of times for the cosplayers, that's kind of tough to do because there's several hours in the interim where they have to stay in these costumes. Some of them are really big, ornate, or just hot. So we will be doing the costume contest all together, and we'll be releasing details about how that will work. And more than likely, the finalists will still get passes to the party. If they want to come in their costumes, they're welcome to. But it will be finished at the convention, not off-site. So
yeah, any finalists, like one thing we've always held true to is the finalists get into the VIP party, or well, especially since we switched it around the last few years. So yeah, it'll be on site. That won't change. But anybody that wins, like we'll define that a little bit better. But yeah, generally, what is it? Best, I think top 3.
Yeah, I think so. Another question was, is the VIP party going to be 18 and up? We don't know yet. It probably will not be an all ages event, so it will be 18 and up.
It won't be all ages.
It'll be 18 and up or 21 and up. But
yeah,
we'll put
that will actually, the difference between that will depend on Manchester.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way that we're talking about it right now, and what we're in talks about, more than likely at Manchester it'll be 18 and up. It won't be 21 and up. It'll be 18 and up. And then we'll work out something with Lex Live where we'll have something over there. Like we gave game cards one year for families and stuff. And so we'll work something out there. So if you're under 18 and you guys are there, we'll have something closer to the show and the hotels and things like that you can do. But then we'll also have this 18 and up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that seems to work best.
Okay.
And then before our guest announcement, do you want to do our non-announcement?
Yeah, we might as well go ahead and clear the air on this one. So we did have Nev Campbell. Like we were working through that. It was a done thing. However, if you guys have watched anything on Shudder or Bloody Disgusting or anything like that about the Scream franchise, she's been called back into the newest filming, which unfortunately will put her out of the running for her attending this year. If that changes, we'll be the first to know. But as of right now, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
we're very happy that obviously that she's filming. That's great. Bummed that we can't bring her this year. I mean, maybe, and I will say that, 1 year we had Skeet booked and he was booked for all 3 days, and it turned out he had to be filming, and he ended up flying in. I don't know if you'll remember this. I can't remember what year it was, 18 maybe. But he flew in late Friday night after filming. He flew in, and then he stayed Saturday, and he had to leave early on Sunday to catch a flight back, to be back for filming. And there was a weather system, and his flight got delayed. So he was able to get like 5 hours away from his airport, and he had to rent a car and drive the rest of the way back to make it back for filming. So, I want everybody to keep in mind that sometimes, even if they're not working on the weekends, it is extremely hard to travel across the country and back and go back to work after you've had an exhausting weekend of meeting people. So, just keep that in mind. They are human. They film. That's why we love most of them. So we want them to keep doing that.
I do love though that we've always maintained a sense of transparency with everyone.
Yes.
And so I'm bummed about it, but I think we've got a lot of stuff in the works that will help make up for it. And like I said, and like Adrian said, if anything changes, we will move heaven and earth to get her here.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 9:30, everybody. We're going to take a quick commercial break, then we'll be back with our celebrity announcements for this evening.
Today's Crypt features deals with talents in the horror community, from mask makers, sculptors, artists, and more. Plus, podcast Live in the Crypt, shooting the shiz with BK and the Swag, and BK and the Bees, Horror Buzz. Visit their website, join their Facebook group, and thank them for being a Scarefest sponsoring vendor.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Roomorg magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually and join me, executive editor Andrea Subasati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Roomorg, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
Do you
Can I say-
remember what?
Boy, Wes, you've got to get into it. Boy.
Anyway, if you remember a little movie called Phantasm and Phantasm Ravager, Phantasm for Oblivion, a whole bunch of Phantasm movies. We're looking at A. Michael Baldwin. A. Michael Baldwin is coming to Scarefest 2024. And we're also announcing Rick Hurst. Brain Damage. Now this one, I'm sorry, I'm a total blank on. I've not seen Brain Damage.
All right.
You'll have to tell everybody about it.
I got to jump in here real quick. All right. First off, it's Fantasm 45. If you guys didn't know that, which is my all-time. That and Day of the Dead are two of my favorite all-time horror movies. So, A. Michael Baldwin, we've had him once before, along with Reggie and some of those guys, and this is 45, which means it's a big year for it.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about Phantasm because I just like to go around and say the word boy. Anyway, actually, and the reason I chose to announce them on the same night, so Brain Damage came out in 88. I watched it in 89, which is the first year that I saw Phantasm. And Phantasm was like one of the first movies I ever watched. It was horror. And so if you are a Basket Case fan, which I am, then you know what Brain Damage is and you know who Rick Hurst is. And Rick is doing a few shows on the East Coast this year. And I'm really excited to have him because I'm a huge fan. And I love Brain Damage. And if you've not watched Brain Damage, then you're missing out on something. And it's actually free on YouTube if you go check it out. You can watch it, you can stream it, and I would urge you to. If you're a Frank Henenlotter fan, who's the guy that did Basket Case and some other stuff, but you'll know him most from Basket Case and Brain Damage. Great director, great films. I'm really excited about Rick this year, and
awesome.
Even more excited about Fantasm.
All right. On with our announcements. Don't forget, if you want to sign up to be a volunteer to help us get everything done at Scarefest, we are taking staff applications. Go to scarefestweekend.com and do the volunteer link. And also, speakers. You've still got like another month or so to sign up to be a speaker. If you want to present at the Scarefest, if you're an expert, an authority, or you just like talking about shit, speaker applications are also up at scarefestweekend.com. the Scarefest Horror Film Festival is taking applications, which were up to 60. Actually, 59 to be honest. Okay, 59.
Not exaggerate.
That's a buttload already, and I'm just saying.
And it's doing great.
So there. So I don't want to hear any more bitching about the film festival, Brandon. None.
Nobody was bitching about the film festival. I redid the Laurels because I thought it would look nice, and I was going to market it more.
I remember him
seen
saying,
the Laurels, go to Film Freeway.
We're behind where we were last year. And I said, no fucking
Well, we
way.
were. I'm a trend guy, Wes. You know how I work. I'm not
Anyway,
saying
so that's going on. Central Kentucky Mystical Market is coming up April 14th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday only this time at the Clarion Hotel, the new convention center, that end of the building, the back side of the building. The Bluegrass, I think they call it the Bluegrass Convention Center now, which they picked a horrible color for their sign, but that's a whole other story. Lions Club Run for Sight. Yes, tomorrow is my first 5K of the year. My first 5K of the year. I'll be running Lions Club Run for Sight. It's at Masterson Station Park. I want to thank the lovely Barbara Jane for sponsoring my first 5K of this year. And if you want to join my Patreon and read my blog about my trials, tribulations, and the shit that goes on when you have a heart attack and you try to get yourself out of it. By the way, my echocardiogram came back normal. I am now a normal person. Sleepaway Camp. I'm doing that cosplay at FrankenCon. Just verbatim.
Yes.
Except for the abs. I mean, I'll be showing my abs, but my abs are more like covering the belt type. And if I get to 100 subscribers, the first show I do that cosplay at, and I have 100 subscribers, I'll do the tramp stamp. Although I did you see my little? I found the Lady in the Tramp, the stamp.
Yes.
That I would love to do that. Anyway, Patreon.com/Scarefest Radio, 25 cents a week. 25 cents a week is all it costs to support me and help me make a fool out of myself. And okay, now okay, I'm gonna do a close up. I changed hats, but see.
Oh my God!
See this? I will be recording my 5K tomorrow for my blog people. Now I'm gonna put
Make
the whole
sure
thing
you
on
turn
there.
the camera on and you tilt it up.
No, I got it aimed right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be aimed kind of line of sight.
Lots of heavy breathing?
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, for a second I thought that was an exercise in like object permanence. Like Wes goes behind the couch and he disappears. Where'd he go? Where'd Wes go?
Anyway,
just change his hat.
So I just wanted to give everybody I bought this is like $15. This thing is great, and you can the little thing you can put in your pocket, and in other words you can record everything. So I'm
gonna be wearing one of those during Scarefest, and then I'm gonna pull out the highlights of like some crazy shit I have to put up with over the weekend.
There you go. I will probably have this in my pocket in whatever.
So y'all don't come up to me making a fool out of yourself at Scarefest because it's going to be on camera. So I have two things. One from the commercial you did earlier. This is a shameless plug. The Bombs. I have the body oil, and I've got some scrub too, but it's in the bathroom, so I wasn't going to get it. The stuff is awesome, and I have really sensitive skin. So check out her products because they're amazing. And the other thing I wanted to show you all is I was going through some of my mom's stuff, and some of you all know my mother passed away about 17 months ago, and I was going through some of her VHSs, and look what was in there.
Holy shit.
A Fright Night VHS.
Oh.
And for some of those in the audience who watch my ridiculous lives that I do, everybody was just piling on because I've never seen the movie, brace yourselves, A Christmas Vacation. And I also have that on VHS. So when Christy and Barbara and I went out to dinner last night, we stopped by here so they could check out my lizards, and I was showing them, the VHSs, and I have a VHS player. So we have decided we are going to do a movie night so that I can watch A Christmas Vacation, and we can check out the Fright Night.
Christ, are you telling me you've never seen A Christmas Vacation?
No, I've seen that one scene, like, well, I've seen clips of like that one scene where he like freaks out.
Well, it's the best thing since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny F and K.
Okay, well,
It is a tradition
it's
here
great.
too.
But yeah.
Holy shit, where's the towel?
Yeah, that's what I've seen. But yeah, so a little update for everyone who was worried, you know, that I just am totally uncultured because I've never seen A Christmas Vacation. I do intend to watch it as soon as I get the girls together for movie night. And I just thought the Fright Night VHS was like perfect timing because I've had all this stuff boxed up forever and I haven't gone through it. And I went through and I saw that and I was like, that's kind of fortuitous because, you know, Fright Night. So
now, if you can find Fright Night 2 on VHS,
I gotta go.
That is a diamond in the rough. You cannot find it.
Okay. Well, you know, the perfect place to ask about that would be, is it the Orbit DVD guys that do FranklinCon that always have the rare and obscure VHSs? Those might be the guys to ask. So, yeah. What else we want to talk about?
I need to rattle off some answers to questions from the chat room from like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, if you buy someone's VIP pass, VIP level pass, or Weekend Plus pass, it needs to filter through Adrian to get that updated, right?
Yeah, VHS. Oh my God, VIP or Weekend Plus passes. Yes, they have to go through me. Yes.
Everything else is barcode, buyer beware.
Yeah.
But if you show up with the barcode, the QR code.
That is new. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And anyone that's listening, a lot of you all will answer questions before we even have an opportunity to. And I'm going to be honest, I have not been answering questions or seeing my Facebook notifications recently. I have been covered up with work. I am not handling the day or weekend pass transfers anymore. I cannot do it. I have too much work to do. I mean, which is a good problem to have, but I am doing hundreds of emails a week and I cannot keep up with ticket transfers. So if you all see anyone in there, like Wes said, they can send on the QR code and that's fine. But buyer beware on those.
And I'm also going to add, now they'll do it in the comments. We can't control that, but we will not be accepting post of people selling day tickets. So that if it's in the group, if you come up and you buy one and you can't sell and you can't go with your day tickets, you can sell them on your personal page. You can sell them in other groups, but we will not allow those as post.
Yeah, because it invites the bots and we cannot keep up with it. And another thing, is we're almost at 20,000 members in our group, which is huge.
Which is separate from the 80,000.
Right. We do not market the group. The group we want to grow organically. We want people in the group that add good content to it. That being said, I guess we probably should post a little bit more about what we let in and what we don't let in. I mean, I know that just me, like I deny a lot of posts in there. We do have a lot of information about the show that goes into the group. So we have to make sure it's not just a constant flood of posts all the time. We want to keep the engagement up and, make sure you all get some good content. But if you are making posts in the group and they're not getting through, that's why. And I know that some of our mods do it. Not all of us do. If we decline posts, sometimes we'll put a note in there as to why it was declined.
I do sometimes.
But it's not out of hatefulness. If it is out of hatefulness, we'll probably also ban you too. No, not really. At least a timeout though. But yeah, so if you all make posts and they're not going through, also if you make a post and you make an edit, the edit has to be approved. A lot of people think their posts get deleted and it's really because they edited it. So any more questions, Wes?
Okay. Yes, we will be running shuttles to the VIP party.
Yes.
As far as special events, I I don't think anything is nailed down yet, but we are looking.
We're still in the middle of like
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, so soon we should have updates on that. But everything that we've had pretty much in the past is on the table. That being said, we've got to look at it logistically and financially and everything else.
Yeah.
And then we scrolled past it. You had 3 good questions. I'm only going to get to one of them because I forgot what the other 2 were. We do our best to keep the center, and the center doesn't want to do it either. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to put some cables on the floor last year and put the little humps over them.
Oh,
that will not happen this year.
Yes, we will police that ourselves. So that we try to not let that happen to begin with. The center is normally very good about it. I don't know if it was a matter of time saving or what.
It was spacing was the big issue with the one section, and so if we're able to move stuff around, then it had to do with the aisle placements, exactly where they were at with the junction boxes. If we move stuff around, then we can run it over top instead of along the floor.
Well, and I understand that
absolutely drove me crazy last year.
Right, and I walked by 8 of those junction boxes from where the cable started to where it ended, and they could not explain to me why it had to be run that way.
That one aisle where who was there? I think it was J. Trevor Edmond was at the corner, and I think it led over to the folks from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
That was the worst section, and it had to do with where they fell, like how the aisles were placed. That's what I was going to
say. Where the people fell, because it was a lot. I tripped over.
I did too. I totally duffed it.
That's what someone in the chat room, Charlotte, said about cables are hard on wheelchairs. They're hard on volunteers too.
Yeah,
we had a couple of volunteers wipe out because of that. So
we were very upset about those, and we raised a lot of that will not happen again. I don't care if it has to do with electric being run to a booth. We will move whoever is in the booth. That cannot happen again.
Now we will try to do a better job, but now I will say one thing. We had trouble with people tripping over the stands for the 12-foot skeletons. And the thing is, don't walk under the fucking 12-foot skeletons. It's not
or
like
any props.
Just don't walk under props, okay? Yeah, okay. We'll. So this is a compromise. Give and take. We'll get rid of the cords, but don't trip over our 12-foot skeletons.
The second worst pain I ever felt in my life, and this is not a joke. I had a 6-foot tall raptor skeleton animatronic in my living room that I decorated as my Christmas tree one year. And I knelt down to put the tree skirt around the stand. And I put my knee down on that stand and I rolled something in my knee. And I just fell over and screamed because it hurt. I still don't know what happened. But yeah, those things are dangerous. Just stay away from them.
I think it was all that I had. Oh my God! It's time. We've killed another 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
Studios is a Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendor. Trick or Treat Studios is the one-stop shop for high-quality Halloween and horror. Shop masks, costumes, figures, collectibles, games, and more from your favorite movies. Find Trick or Treat Studios online at trickortreatstudios.com.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Sorry, have something in my mouth. Probably from Thanksgiving. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Eli Roth made a trailer, a faux trailer, a fake trailer, along with Edgar Wright and a few other people, for a movie called Grindhouse 13, 14, 15 years ago. Actually, I didn't even bother to look it up. And the cool thing about Grindhouse, and what I loved about it when it came out, was that you got a double feature with fake trailers. Like you had a fake trailer in the beginning, then the first feature, which was Planet Terror, directed by Robert Rodriguez, and then you had other trailers in between, and then you had Death Proof, which was Tarantino's horror film with Kurt Russell. Now, Death Proof's the better movie of the two, but it was a fantastic 3 hours in the theater, double feature experience, and it tanked in the box office that week and came out sometime in the spring during Easter with a couple of other horror films, and it just was bad timing, was not handled well. That being said, love the experience. And then all this time later, 15, 13, however how many years it is, we get Thanksgiving, which was Eli Roth's trailer for that movie. Is it any good? It's okay. A lot of people have been complimenting this movie. I mean, a lot of people have been complimenting this movie. A lot of people I see. And truthfully, I hate to throw out to our super fan out there, Barbara, but it's okay. It's okay. A lot of the compliments I've seen is it was like a Scream sequel. This is not a Scream movie. It isn't. I know. I get a lot of people criticizing me for not liking the Scream films. I do like Scream, the first one. That's about it. The rest of them are not necessary. They're ridiculous, and they're always trying to somebody's third cousin's cat's the killer, and you never know. There's never enough information. It's just stupid. That being said, Thanksgiving is a little bit better than that. However, it's just okay. It's a slightly watered down version, not by much. This is pretty gory and pretty gory, yeah. But it's a slightly watered down version of the trailer. All the highlights that you saw in the trailer are in this movie. So yay for you, except for the knife doesn't quite go into the cheerleader the same place it did in the trailer. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen Grindhouse. The rest of them, pretty much the same. People, blood, turkey getting its head chopped off. I liked it. I got a little bored a couple of times. My main criticism with this film, I didn't really care about any of the people, but that's not even it. When you cast a star, it's pretty much one of the only ones, and you're sitting there trying to figure out the killer, you know who the killer is the first 10 or 15 minutes of this movie. There's no mystery. There is absolutely no. In fact, even when it's revealed, I thought you could have done it. No, it's who you think it is from the get-go. It is who you think it is from the get-go. There's no mystery to this movie. I guess that's my main criticism. I don't know. I like the movie okay. It's not terrible at all. In fact, it's great that we're getting... I think I'm just not a big slasher person, to be honest. But if you like slasher films, Thanksgiving, very bloody, gory, not necessarily scary, bunch of puns, a lot of good humor in it. The opening scene is the best part. The opening scene, the Black Friday massacre at the front of the movie, is the best part of what sets up John Carver for getting retribution on this small town. So check out Thanksgiving, especially if you're into slasher films or you love that trailer. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. I just think people are saying it's meh, and I say no, it's about middle of the road. So check out Thanksgiving. Don't break your neck. This has been Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly. All will be carved.
Okay, and 2/3 of us are back. Brandon had to go to the restroom. Anyway, okay, and yes, everyone.
I didn't turn my video back on. Sorry, I'm still here. Shit. Sorry.
That was a rerun, but that's because we had a tornado go through Lexington and Joe didn't have internet. So there, we announced it at the beginning of the show.
And the internet people literally beat down his gate.
Yeah.
They knew it was Joe's house.
Yeah.
I sent them.
Now, question was in the chat room.
Well, I mean, you know Joe's house because it's on the map.
Is there a place to charge wheelchairs at the center? The answer is yes. You will find it out in the hallways. The hallways. They actually do have plugs out in...
Yeah. Where we were just talking about, where I said the long hallway, and there's outlets all the way down the hallway. That's going to be your best bet.
So, yeah. So, there's your answer for that. I think that's everything I had in the chat room. And by the way, the reason I chose that particular review was I liked that movie. All right. Parking at Manchester. There's like 2 lots, and one's a pay lot and one's not. Is that right?
So there is a lot attached to it that you have to pay because parking isn't free anywhere you go, unfortunately. So if you choose to drive in, you can park at the lot at the Manchester, and then you basically can. There's an app on your phone; it'll have signs all over it, and you can do it that way. But there are a couple of free lots down there that you can park at too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, the Clarion is the only hotel with shuttles to the con. Now, there will be shuttles from the con to the VIP party, just to clear that up. And back to the Clarion. They'll make a big circle, in other words.
What else we got?
I think everything's off my list now. And we can talk a little bit. I can give you an idea. We were talking about what makes it into the group post.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, okay, if you want to request a celebrity in the group with, by the way, people, you're kind of beating a dead horse at this point. Brandon's already got a list of like 90 people.
Yeah.
So let's just say it doesn't matter who you talk about. We're done.
No, it does. We're still shuffling the deck here.
Wait, let me back up. You all are absolutely welcome to post, and we can put it in there. But I would say on a scale of 1 being not likely and 10 being very likely, Brandon seeing those posts is a -3, right?
I look at them. I look. No, if it's in the fan page, and it's a celebrity post, a question. Or
you haven't responded to my text message from last Friday.
I look at those religiously.
Okay, so Brandon reads your posts, but I don't know if he writes them down. But we have a main group post. It's pinned to the top where we actually have those plugged into a spreadsheet, and we go based off popularity of requests. So, conversation topic, yes. Sometimes I read those posts and I'm like, we already have that person booked. And sometimes I read those posts and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening this year. And sometimes we'll say, if there's somebody like tonight, if there's somebody that, would go really, really good with a lineup and we know that it just isn't going to happen, then we'll tell you. What is that? What was that?
That was a sticker I have in my cup.
Oh, it looks like Danny DeVito from here.
Now, another thing, as far as me approving them, if you do a celebrity request as a separate post, but it's on another convention's banner head, I won't approve it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's not completely copacetic.
Yeah, and also that, and there's been a couple of times this week and last month where if there is something that happens at another convention and it's bad and it gets a lot of bad publicity, we're not sharing that in our group. You all are welcome to talk about that on your page, but not on ours, because there have been a couple times where no one did it maliciously, but and it's not just one. So there are a couple of you that I declined your post and then I talked to you about it. I'm not talking about you guys. There have been some posts where other cons are just going to get drug in the comments, and I'm not about that life. I don't want to see that, because there are very few people that understand what goes into putting on a large event. And I don't want to hear those people bash for things, especially when they're out of their control. So that's a major pet peeve of mine, and probably several other people in the admin team. But I don't want to speak for them, but I'm not down with that. So those don't get approved.
And now another thing that I don't decline them outhandedly, but a lot of you will go on another group or another website, and you'll see like 5 things you like and try
And
to
share.
share all fucking 5 of them at one time?
No.
I will usually let 1 or 2 slip through, but if you put through the course of a morning, if you try to post like 5 times, one of them might get posted. So just relax, slow down. But we're not going to use our group to just willy-nilly publicize other groups and other pages. Okay? Podcast, we do not approve any podcast links unless they are Scarefest centric.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, guys, because it takes a lot to get your audience and your community built, and we want to be able to use that space for people that we want to highlight, companies and groups that are affiliated with us, and that's not knocking anybody else at all. But if you have like 7 birthday posts on there from like everybody that's ever been in a film or a TV show, it just kind of takes up real estate on the page.
I tend to only approve the ones that we've announced. Every now and then I'll see one come up that, we've got that one announced, and I will approve that. But otherwise, birthday post, no. I don't like my own birthdays. Why would I care about theirs?
Here's one for you. If a promoter or a convention posts a guest announcement, don't bash the guest in the comments.
No.
And don't just start mentioning names of people that you want.
Yeah, please don't do that on anyone, on any show. Don't do that.
I don't do that for any show, and it's let's just not do it here. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
People look at that.
And going back to celebrity requests, another thing that bugged me, I actually shut down the comments on one post. Somebody had a good experience with an actress that was in some movie, and that's really her only claim to fame, and it wasn't even a big part. But everybody was going on that post, piling on, saying, "Who's this? Why do you want them?" Well, they didn't do anything. Don't pick on what other people want. All it takes is for them to have a good interaction with so-and-so, and they are their biggest fan. Respect that.
Yeah, and I think that I'll say this: the atmosphere in the Scarefest group versus other groups that I am a member of, there's a reason that it is the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we will say this over and over. We don't want to live in an echo chamber. We don't want just, we want diversity. We want opinions, always, good, bad, or ugly. But absolutely, if you are just making a comment to be mean to someone, like Wes was saying, or like Brandon was talking about, if it serves no purpose other than your opinion and it's rude, I absolutely will delete comments. Because if you have a legitimate dislike about something, absolutely. But this is not the place. There is way too much meanness in the world in general, especially on social media, and we really we don't need that here. So no.
Here's where my thoughts are, and I know we're getting close to closing down, but there's the horror community in and of itself. I don't know if you can hear it or not. My daughter is corralling possums in the back.
No.
Anyway, if you've ever been to a Comic-Con versus a horror con, you guys, know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a difference.
The vibe is different.
It is. And your line buddies, all the people that you hang out with, horror cons are completely a different vibe. And it should be the same in the groups.
Yeah.
We're all very supportive of one another. Nobody badmouths anybody. You can have disagreements.
Yeah.
We can duke it out. But be respectful to your fellow horror con goers.
That's what it comes down to is just general respect. And it's so rare. It's so rare. And most of the time, if anything does pop off in the group, you can look and see it's someone that's new. I mean, they're either a new profile We have had some issues recently with fake profiles, with trolls. You know, if you see someone on there and they are just generally being unpleasant, you know, screenshot it and send it to one of the moderators, or, you know, report the comment. We'll look into it.
Report the comment. I check that.
That is something, like, I get a notification if something gets reported, and so do the other admins. So report it, and don't engage with trolls, because one, you're going to stoop down to their level, and two,
you can't win.
They're going to beat you with experience, because they're just, you know what kind of people they are. So, you know, just keep that in mind, guys. Like, nobody has to be out here fighting off the trolls. If it's obviously a bogus account, we'll remove it. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does.
But let me say this real quick. I have gone out to a bunch of shows here lately, and we all have.
You have.
But I've been up north to Jersey. I've been to Chicago, Full Moon in Nashville.
Yep.
And let me tell you right now, every show that I've been to, I've ran into folks from Scarefest.
Yes.
And you guys are absolutely killing it. And
yeah.
I if you see me and I don't recognize you, and you notice my hat and glasses, or some people do, like, just stop me. Like, I give out passes at those shows. Like, I've seen our Scarefest shirts at every show that I've been to on the East Coast.
Yeah, and the last show I was at, anytime I saw somebody wearing Scarefest, I would be like, hey, I love your hoodie, or hey, I love your shirt. And a lot of them were just like, oh, thanks. But I did see a ton of people from the group there, and it's so fun.
Yeah, you guys have been awesome, and the group is amazing. Like, the folks that come to the show, horror fans in general, are amazing. But, like, you guys, like, have absolutely blown my mind. Like, when I go out to shows, it's just amazing.
You kind of feel like a celebrity a little bit when you go to shows, Brandon. Yes.
I don't go in for that. I really stay off the radar.
No. Right.
But, like, when I see people, like, it makes me feel proud.
Yeah.
And, like, when I see people wearing a Scarefest shirt, or, like, when people come up to me and talk about a show, it's just a compliment, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And, like, we all work so hard for this. And when I see you guys out there and we talk, like, it just means a lot.
Being all sappy.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. Makes
all
me feel
right.
like we're doing something right.
Let's tell them about next week. Next week, Linnea Quigley is coming on the show. Linnea Quigley is coming on the show.
I love
she
her.
will be appearing at FrankenCon. And so we're basically, this is FrankenCon month. So we're just doing a month about FrankenCon, because we love those guys down there. But next week, Linnea Quigley will be on the show. And say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.